Are you tired of feeling overwhelmed, overstimulated, and have 20,000 things on your to-do list and you just don't know where to turn? Guess what? Today I'm going to talk about how to stop being tired of decision fatigue and just taking action and gain control over your life. And this is called coaching. This is coaching, okay? So, here we go. I'm going to coach you guys on how to get control of your actual schedule and your actual life. So, number one, I am very heavy on Google Calendar now. I used to not be, but I am now. Because what I realized is Google Calendar can alert you when you need to do a task. So, that's really beneficial because if something dings, it's like, ding, time's up. I can now go do whatever, right? And so, or I can do my next thing. So, what I realized is how I really move the business forward is two ways. Number one, there's a builder day. And number two, there's a day where I take meetings. For some of you guys, it might be patience and meetings, marketing, might be all that. Okay. If you are a CEO, you want to do both, but you want to actually spend more days in the making phase or in the building phase, making, building, same thing. Okay. Where you are thinking. You were thinking about bigger vision. You were thinking about what's the next step. You're thinking about what's the biggest problems. How do I solve it? That is actually where you're going to move the business the most. And most of you guys want to stay on the days where you just are the meeting days and the to-do list days. But this is the beginning of your career. You're like your schedule, if you look at it, it's full of patience, it's full of like marketing meetings. But if you stay in that cycle, you'll never ever get out of that cycle. Because there's no time in there then where you're actually building your business. And I always say this for people that are starting out. You actually have two businesses. The one where you're seeing patients, that's one business. And then the business that you're doing before you see patients and the business that you're doing after you see patients. That's another business. And that's called building a business. Okay? So if you are a morning person, like I am, I build in the morning, meaning from 6 a.m. to like 8, sometimes even 12. I personally build because that is when, I have less distractions and people pinging me. I also build a lot on the weekend. So I work on the weekends and I'm okay with that because I can build then. Some of you guys, you won't even fathom that because you're like, that's a boundary. I'm not doing it. Well, if that's a boundary, your business will not grow. Again, I'm just being honest. Some of you guys also have too many patient and marketing days where your whole calendar is just patience, marketing. Now, you do still need to do that. I am not saying stop that, okay? Because that's what moves the business forward. But what I am saying is you're gonna have to have time where it's just think. And the thinking is like, oh, I have to have block off my time to think. It just seems so not like fathomable because you feel like you have to have a to-do list to check off to feel accomplished. But the thinking is the thing that is going to move the business and get you unstuck. So my question to you is, do you have a time slot on your calendar where you're doing your thinking? If not, where can you put it? Maybe you're a night person. So if you're a night person, maybe you work out in the morning. Maybe you do all your stuff during the day, and maybe from 6 to 10 o'clock at night, that is your time to move the business forward. And you're going to block that on your calendar. Conversely, you have to make sure that whenever you have meetings, that it's in the hours that are not your prime thinking time. So like if I'm a morning person, I'm not going to put a meeting at 7 a.m. because that is my prime thinking time. And I don't want anyone to disrupt me so that I can get to work and think. Okay, that's key, guys. This is how you get ahead. I'm telling you, this is how you get ahead. This is how you stay dangerous. Okay, this is how you stay dangerous. I promise you. Also, when you plan out your calendar, and I'm talking about very specifically plan out your calendar, I need you to put when you're going to eat, how long that takes. I need you to put when you go pee. I need you to put when anything that you do, I need you to put when you're scrolling on social media, and you have to be honest with your calendar. You know what I've also seen is people are not honest with their calendar. Like they leave out like the little details that they're doing that's actually taking up 45 minutes and they don't even realize it. So, first off, just be honest, like 2 days straight, just audit what you're doing and put it on your Google Calendar, like write it out. Like today, if I'm like making a podcast right now, I'd put on my calendar making podcast. Just be honest with it. So you audit it. Great. Then the next 2 days, be like, okay, I'm going to put podcast here, or I'm going to put, I'm going to put meeting here. And you plan out your day. And if it doesn't work, just audit the schedule and just move things around. Okay. But when I look at my schedule, I have to put eating. I have to put gym on my schedule. I have to put, I have to put like anything that I do on the schedule, because what will happen is that Google will ping me, boom. And then it's like, oh yeah, I do need to go eat. I'm going to just go do that. And I don't have to negotiate with myself then. So then my decision fatigue immediately goes down times 10, because it's not like, do I want to try to do a podcast today, or do I actually want to go marketing? Which one should I do in between these patients? What should I do now? Should I try to make a social media post, or should I call a patient back? I already have a plan, and the plan came from the beginning of the week because I audited what the problem was. And then whatever the problem was is I put that into my week so that it was like, oh yeah, she is going to hit these problems this week because it's a non-negotiable, because it's already on my calendar. Does that make sense? If it's already on your calendar and you've just followed the plan, there's no decision fatigue. You just act. You don't think, you just act. And most of y'all are like thinking and processing, and then what do you know? An hour goes by and you're like, shoot, I didn't do anything. And then you go home because you don't feel productive, and you're like, oh, I don't know if I can do this anymore. And then you get fatigued, and then you're like, I don't know if this is right for me. I don't have any more time in my day. But you do, you're just not proficiently using your time accurately. So be very, very mindful of this stuff. Because when you can block and you can stick to your blocks, and by the way, it feels so amazing. Like I have in midday, I go to the beach midday, and then I come back and I work, and in the morning I work too. And when I can do that and like get in my workout, it feels so good to be like, oh my God, I just followed my schedule. I just executed. And I look at my performance by the end of the day. Did I execute, including eating, including beach time? Did I execute everything on there? And if I did, then I get a checkbox. It's a different mindset than thinking, did I execute all of my to-do lists today? Because your brain is always going to be going. Your brain is always, it's never going to be able to shut off as a business owner. Welcome to entrepreneurship. It's never going to be able to shut off. And so if you think that like, you just have to complete your to-do list, it just won't happen. You're going to be disappointed, and then you're going to give up because you're like, my to-do list will never, ever be completed. That's accurate. So instead, evaluate yourself and like give judgment to yourself if you want, if you like actually stuck to the schedule for the day. Because you shouldn't have already had to think about it, because it was already thought about on Sunday at night when you're like, oh yeah, I got to audit what's happening and what we're doing well and all the things. That's really important to do. Okay. So if you have decision fatigue, the main thing is pull out a Google Calendar, audit your business, and then make sure that whatever you're putting on the calendar for the week is the thing that actually is the thing that you have struggling with to move the business forward. And that's the biggest bottleneck in your business. So if you guys are struggling with moving your business forward and you need more tips and tricks, reach out to us at PelviBiz, PelviBiz at PelviBiz, and be happy to help. Just say, Kelly, help me, listen to you, and I need some help. All right, guys, we'll talk later. Bye.